Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We are coming to you today from the
Arizona Center.
Yep.
And look, I got myself some Bosa tea.
Yum. Yeah, our producer Ann is eating Bosa donuts by like the fistful. It's kind of impressive.
Oh, so it's just a Bosa kind of day.
It's a Bosa kind of day.
Well, there you go. Some days you just need to.
Your tie is extra big today, Marshall.
Well, I was trying to make up for kind of the muted palette that I ran out with. I was like,
he's really bothered that he's so muted today.
I am. I'm like, I didn't plan this.
It's okay.
So, oh well.
You're brighter in person than you are on
Oh,
camera,
maybe that's it.
like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, how are you this morning?
I am good. You know, there's so much going on.
There is so much going on.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, like I'm meeting with a narrative medicine doctor. So I'm involved with this whole thing where we're going to be doing.
Sounds like you just put random words together.
But there's actually a whole field.
Yeah, no, I know.
And so I'm kind of intrigued to find out. So I'm part of this RAX4. This is the fourth group. And so we did speed dating.
Okay.
So you had 9 researchers, 9 artists, speed dating, and here's the result. And so now we're meeting today to kind of talk a little bit about, well, what's going to go on? What is narrative medicine? Kind of what does our work of art look like?
Very
or
cool.
Or sound like? Because it could be a soundscape.
Yeah, the Flynn Foundation always does art shows based off of like the health industry and the medical field. Right. And they've got one, I think, coming up in February I just RSVP'd for.
Yeah, and so this is the biomedical campus.
Yeah.
And so.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it should be a lot of fun. So kind of intrigued to see what's going to come out of all this.
We're both involved in artistic endeavors. We're actually getting ready. I know it sounds far away, but ArtLink is getting ready for Art Detour, happening in March.
Oh, yeah.
All month long. Yeah. So we have our site, artinerary.com. If you're an artist and you're not registered yet, you definitely want to do that.
Definitely need to get on
your events
there.
Up on there.
Yeah.
Studio tours are a big deal. So if you feel open to opening up your studio or even doing a virtual studio tour, those are always a great idea in March. And
or even reaching out to a gallery and saying, hey, can I put some of my stuff up?
Totally.
Because they're just now starting to get those calendars set up.
And we're kicking off Detour this year with the gala. So the gala's on March 1st this year.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, which I'm thrilled about.
Actually, I like that because it builds synergy instead of having them as separate events.
It's like a kickoff party for the whole month, and then I don't have to be stressed about the gala.
Right, exactly.
So it'll be phenomenal. It's at the Arizona Biltmore Fashion Park. We have a lot of space. We're going to be doing a month-long gallery this time instead of just a one-night installation.
Oh, very cool. That makes much more sense.
Yeah. So working on that. That's kind of where my focus has been lately.
Very cool.
I know. Well, I feel like you always know weird things about Arizona and specifically this time of year in Arizona. What are we talking about today?
Indeed. All right. So I recently was in Bisbee and Tombstone for the reenactment of the Bisbee Massacre. So it was.
Did you get to die?
I was the narrator.
Oh.
So we have a picture of me and like 15 of the actors.
Yeah.
Here we are. Actually, this is in the town of Lowell that we created downtown Bisbee. And so we actually did a reenactment of this 2-day event that basically was 5 gunmen tried to hold up the one safe in Bisbee, and of course the
one safe, singular safe,
the one safe, and the payroll for the mine was late, so there really was no money. So they were really kind of ticked. So they kind of shot people.
Oh dear!
And so and so then they wound up on the lam. They got them all together like in 2 months, and then they stood trial in Tombstone.
Okay.
And so we did this whole thing based on that. We also did a piece of that in Tombstone. So this was the inaugural one that we've done there. And so getting ready, we're meeting, I think next week, start talking about what does next year look like.
Wow.
So it was quite involved. I mean, we actually had gunfight. We actually had guns firing and everything else. So it was actually really interesting. Not something I would get involved with, but I love the fact that it was just sharing this Cochise County history
Yeah.
And so it was, for the time, it was the sensational crime that everybody was talking about.
I just think that's interesting. I used to date a guy that was a stuntman at Rawhide.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't know. It's just
That's pretty much what what these guys were doing. I mean, they're they were the gunfighters from Tombstone. They were like, hey, we've got this other gig going on, so.
Yeah. Well, that's fascinating. Look at you always doing weird, wonderful things.
And plus, I got to go spend some time in Bisbee.
I love Bisbee. We both love Bisbee. I know.
I mean, oh my gosh. And then I had dinner at Cafe Roca.
Yum.
Yeah. And so Rod and Sally was there. His wife was there this time, and it was actually really great. Hadn't seen her since in like the last 5 years.
I'm trying to actually plan a girls' weekend trip to Bisbee, but we have Airbnb credit that we want to use, and so we're not staying at a hotel. We're trying to find a house, and it's actually hard to find an Airbnb rental property in Bisbee.
Take a look at the Greenway Manor.
Okay.
So it's this Art Nouveau mansion that is owned by Gretchen Bonaducci. Now you might notice the Bonaducci. You might know that last name from Danny Bonaducci's ex-wife.
Okay.
So she bought this old mansion that was built by the mine. I think it's like 1906.
Cool.
And pretty much it's just as it was. Because it was part of the mine, they then added on this hotel off to the side for all the executives to stay in.
Okay.
So I think there's like 5 or 6 rooms.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So it's like you get that, but then you also have access to the house as well.
That would be perfect. Yeah, I think there's going to be like 6 of us going.
Yeah, so check out the Greenway Manor and see what's going on down there.
That's a good idea.
Because I know she's Airbnb-ing that. So.
Okay. Yeah. Because we just had one of the girlfriends has she had a trip get canceled, so they give her a credit. And so we were like, we should use that for a girls' trip.
There's also the Schoolhouse Inn in Bisbee as well.
Okay. That they do Airbnb?
That I'm pretty sure was Airbnb.
Okay. I'll check it out. Well, we'll stop talking about our travel plans and bring you someone more interesting than us. I don't know, more interesting than me. Marshall's pretty fascinating. We're going to be right back after this break with our guest, Mark Young. We can't wait to introduce him to you.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're coming at you from the Arizona Center, which we love. We are joined right now, in this very moment, by Mark Young. Hello, Mr. Mark.
Good morning. How are you guys today?
Good. How are you?
Great.
So our producer, Ann, reached out and was like, you got to meet Mark. And that's basically all. No, okay.
That's all right. That means that check I sent her has worked out.
Yeah, wow. She's good like that.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
good.
I know. But Mark, tell us about you and why you're here today.
Sure. So I'm the CEO and president of Macy United Way and Azura, which is a new nonprofit that we've started, and we're trying to help kids in foster care and kids that have aged out of foster care and veterans and people who are living in poverty. And right now our focus this year is on assuring that kids can read by the end of 3rd grade, which is a pretty significant issue in the state.
Okay, so you're focused on literacy then.
And many other things, but literacy is our focus this year. Yeah.
That's interesting. So I actually, one of my first jobs when I graduated college was for a nonprofit organization, and we would go into Title I schools, mostly working with ESL students and trying to make sure that they were able to read before they hit 4th grade, because that's kind of where the drop-off point was, according to research at that time. So yeah, crucial.
It's
work.
Still true. That's the important marker. So we hear a lot of people talking about workforce development, making sure kids graduate from high school and move on to college, but without that basic ability to read before 4th grade, those other things become much more difficult to attain.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So you said this was kind of a new
Yeah, Azura's been here for 18 months.
Okay.
So Macy United Way's been here for 102 years. I haven't been there the whole time. And,
are you sure?
Well, it's close.
Kidding.
And so one of the things that we did as a United Way, which was a bit unusual, is we started programming specifically designed to meet gaps of service in Mesa.
Okay.
So around foster families, kinship families, vets. And in the process of doing that, thinking we were going to serve primarily Mesa residents, we have found ourselves providing services for people across Maricopa County and across the state. So instead of being Mesa United Way, we wanted to open that up a little bit. So we put all of those things that we do under a new nonprofit called Azura.
Are you mostly donation based or
Almost entirely.
Almost entirely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So because I know so many, right, season of giving, all the nonprofits are really pushing right
now.
That's
right. Always.
Yeah. So what's the best or easiest way people can get involved or support your mission?
Well, funding is always important, and so if you go to if you go to Arizona Care, Azura, if you go to azuracares.org, you can see all the different ways that we can, accept your donations. One of the easiest way for people in Arizona for the work we do is the Arizona tax credits, which are really a great vehicle to support nonprofits. So we're capable of using all of those tax credits, and so that's a great way to give. Always looking for volunteers, especially with the online tutoring that we're doing. We could always use extra help there. Or we're happy to help people, if they just want an event for their company or for their social group, they want to get out and do some work, whether it's with us or with other people, we're happy to help people get that worked out.
So I just found out about this, and maybe it's the same thing, maybe it's not. I know that you can make tax deductible donations, but I also know when I went and met with my accountant, they were like, oh, in lieu of paying your state taxes, you can, is that what you're saying?
Right. So back in 2008, they started what they call the qualifying charitable tax credit for foster kids, the foster care tax credit, because the budget was in some trouble, right? So they had stopped allocating as much money to foster families and then turned that responsibility over to the taxpayer. So it's your option. If you want to see how your dollars are spent, you get to choose. So if you have any tax liability at all to the state, you can give that to a litany of different nonprofits. We're happy to take them. And and then that comes dollar for dollar off your state tax burden.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool because as a entrepreneur and business owner, I don't have taxes that come out, so I always owe at the end of the year. And yeah, my accountant was like, oh, you can pay your taxes, or here's this list of organization. And I was like, no way, that's amazing. So
yeah, you can do a school tax credit, you can do the qualifying charitable tax credit, which used to be called the working poor tax credit, basic needs, or the foster care tax credit. So there's several options, and you can stack them, so you can give all of it.
Cool, okay. I'm curious, how did this become your line of work or your passion? What's the call
that's
there?
really interesting. So, I don't know if it's really interesting to anyone else, but it's interesting to me. So, I was a pastor for 30 years. Also a musician, so my degree, my master's degree is in poetry, which is the perfect thing for somebody that's the CEO of a nonprofit. About 10 years ago, I decided I didn't want to do, for a variety of reasons, didn't want to do church work anymore. And working in the nonprofit field, helping our most vulnerable people, felt like important work for me.
Tell us about the experience that the kids have that you're working with.
Okay, it depends on the batch, right? So
well, of course,
this week we're doing Jaquel's Christmas Box, which is a program of Helen's Hope Chest. And what we do is we set up gifts for foster parents and kinship families to come in and shop, if you will, for all the kids in their family. They get to hand pick all of that. A lot of times the kids come, and that's pretty cool. So that's something we're doing this week. Helen's Hope Chest offers 5 sets of clothing 4 times a year for foster kids and kinship kids. And it's a pretty joyful thing to see kids come in. They get to self-select. It's set up like a little boutique. So they get to try stuff on, pick what they want. It brings dignity to them. A lot of people don't know, when a kid gets taken out of their home, it's often in a hurry. So it's like throw what you can in a trash bag, and that's what you leave with, and then you're supposed to be in school on Monday. So we try to make sure that kids fit in, that they have a sense of dignity. We had a kid that came, we have a birthday room. So if you come during your birthday time, you can go in there and pick out a gift. It's pretty cool. So we had a kid come in, and 8, maybe 9, I don't know. And it was his first time in, and we said, okay, you get to pick a birthday gift. And he was a little frozen, didn't really know what to do. So we sang happy birthday to him, and he started to cry, and it's like, didn't mean for happy birthday to be sad. Yeah. He said, this is the first time anyone's ever sung happy birthday to me.
Aww.
And it's those kind of kids, that just need they need love and support and dignity.
Yeah.
And we try to provide that. There, in the reading program, we work with Title I schools, rural communities that don't have any nonprofit presence, and we do tutoring. And to watch those kids go from not being able to read at level to 12 weeks of an hour session to being above their level is an amazing thing to watch. Not just their ability to read, but the confidence they gain and that sense of being able to fit in when they often don't.
You know what we discovered? I mean, you probably know this too, but we started getting joke books for the kids. Oh my gosh. It motivated them to read, and they had so much fun. It was like such a great...
That's a great idea.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you get to hear lots of bad jokes.
And you get to hear lots of bad jokes.
Over and over.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But no, it worked. I mean, they would get so excited, and they would like fight over like taking turns with the joke books. So it was a good one. But I was thinking about how, actually it was around Christmas time. I used to work for the Arizona Republic, and a columnist there, Karina Bland, had written a story about a young girl in foster care. And she had told Karina that all she wanted was for somebody to read her a bedtime story before she goes to sleep. And I was so moved by this, and I wasn't sure what to do. And I ended up writing this little blog that the Republic ran, where I invited people to record themselves reading bedtime stories for this little girl. And it blew up. We got hundreds of people. The governor did it. We got a monk from out of the country that, like, all these people. And then people started sending her gifts and dolls, and and it was like, it so touched my heart that people wanted to help her. And I think one of the things that made such an impact was, we didn't ask for money. We didn't ask for, we made a very specific ask. She just wants a bedtime story, and that was something that I think people could relate to, thinking about reading to their kids and how they don't have that, So.
Yeah, we work a lot with kids that have aged out of foster care.
Yeah.
And some of those stories, I mean, a lot of those kids were taken out of their home when they were 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Foster families aren't terribly interested in taking kids when they were 12 or 13.
Yeah.
A lot of people I know who don't want to keep their own kids when they're 12 and 13, right? So
Right.
it's understandable. And so when those kids come out of group homes, right, they really have nowhere to go. So in Arizona, about 900 kids age out of foster care every year, and within 2 years, 450 of them are on the street.
Okay.
So, we do all this working to battle homelessness, often from the back end, which is important. We need to be doing that. We're trying to figure out how to stop that from the front end. How do we keep these kids from so that they're never on the street again?
How do the kids find you? How do you get connected with?
DCS helps us a lot.
Okay.
But it's one of those things, it's the network. So once a kid's in, then they tell a friend that they know, and then they tell a friend they know, and
Yeah.
So
Great.
it's foster, the foster situation, if you'd like to give, sign up and be a foster parent. Especially if you're brave enough to do that for junior high and high school kids, that'd be great.
It's a challenge.
It is a challenge.
Yeah, I had a mentee for years and years and years, and when she hit 13, it's like a switch flipped.
Yep, that's right. That's when you call in the priest for an exorcism. Like, something's up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I see you have a little teddy bear
here.
here.
I brought this for you guys. I don't know what I was thinking. Build-A-Bear does a great job. Their foundation gives us, I don't remember, hundreds of bears to give out to the foster kids.
Cool.
So I thought I'd bring one for you. Should have brought 2. So what I thought maybe is that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
We get to share custody.
Every other
share
Sunday.
custody.
Yeah, I think that'd be nice.
Oh,
so there you go.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much. Well, thank you, Mark. It's been such a pleasure learning about what you do.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, your important work. And before
Yeah.
you leave, just one more time, tell people how they can either donate or get involved. And I hope you'll see a good response from our viewers here. Yeah.
I'll try to get it right this time. So go to azuracares.org and navigate through there to all of our programming. And if there's something that catches your eye or you'd like to support us financially or by volunteering, you can sign up through there and we'll get a hold of you quickly.
Beautiful. Well, thank you again,
Thanks
Mark.
for having
Thank
me.
you so
Yeah.
much,
I
Mark.
really appreciate it.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this with some things to do and probably some things to celebrate.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning and welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're coming at you from the
Arizona
Center.
Oh my gosh, and we are so happy to be here. I mean, today I am being fueled by Bosa tea.
I've got a drink from Bosa too, but it's in a pretty cup. So
I just had to keep the logo.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I should. Oh.
you got to raise it. There you go. Spin it.
There we go. There you so you can
You
see
got
the
to work
Bosa
on your
logo.
commercial acting, Marshall.
I know.
Logo placement.
My placement's off.
It's okay. You'll get better.
So what are some things that people could be doing?
Well, let me and my bear tell you what are some things. I like this. I'm gonna keep it. You know, if Fran Drescher can bring an emotional support stuffed animal to talks with Michael Eisner, I feel like I can.
Well,
also
and you know, and we have a bookcase over there with like not much on it. So I was thinking, it's like, you know, might wind up becoming a permanent resident.
He might. I would be okay with that. So one fun thing is Weird Wednesday Christmas edition at Rips. No, but this is actually really cool. So you know how there's all those craft fairs and things like that? A lot of times, though, the craft makers and the artisans have to pay to vend or to have their table. You do not have to here. So you can basically set up your wares and make some Christmas cash. And, you know, I think that's pretty cool. Like, a lot of artists don't have a lot of money, and so, and it's a good way to shop small if you're looking for, you know, local made gifts. That's always a fun thing to do. So
Indeed,
you still have time to Christmas shop.
Well, up until the 24th, you have time to Christmas shop.
Yes, for me. No. We'll share the address after. You can send gifts here. No.
Or your wish list. It's
My
like,
wish list. Yeah.
Or your Santa list. It's like, wow.
This next one, I guess I should say, so this is at Rips Bar tonight at 7 p.m. and it's definitely free to attend because they want you to spend your money buying from the creators and the artists and all that. So this next one, though, made my little Golden Girls loving heart really, really happy. It is the Sassy Senior Pub Crawl. So you pub crawl from Tempe to Scottsdale, but it's Christmas senior themed. So like Mrs. Claus and yeah. So
okay.
I love everything about this. I think it sounds like a fantastic time. The bus meets at, it says the Sonesta Select Inn Suites in Tempe at 9:30 p.m. So if you're a senior, real senior, your bedtime's like at 9:30 p.m. or not.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking almost like a Mrs. Roper.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit like
Ooh, a moo-moo.
a holiday moo-moo.
Holiday moo-moo.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. But yeah, I just think that sounds like a good time. It's free to join in on the fun. Address is 601 South Ash. So you can meet up in Tempe and hang out with some fellow senior loving folks. Yeah. I hope there's some Christmas Golden Girls like attire that I get to see
Oh, I'm
photos
sure
of
there
later.
were, and lots of big glasses.
Yes. You have that. You could do it.
I do. I just need the curly wig.
Okay. I'm probably going to say this wrong, and I don't actually know what it is, but it's
I don't know really what this even is, or how to say it, but
Is it a Malay December Malay night and cookie potluck? Malay? Do you know?
Maloo?
Does anybody know? Melee? Melee? Nobody knows. Nobody. See, I don't feel so bad now. It's apparently War of the Phoenix, and you have to wear armor and be on the field at 8 p.m. And they're going to be having hot cocoa and cookies. They can be store-bought or
with your armor.
make your
How
own
do you?
cookies.
It's like how do you have to raise a little mask to get the cup?
Well, Marshall, if you want to find out, you got to go to Encano Park.
Is this like the
at 8
Society
p.m.
of Creative Anachronisms?
I don't know. Melee. What is the producer? God in my ear. Do we know what a melee is?
I think it's a gathering.
So it's an actual fight, like fist fight? Do you have weapons? I don't know. Okay, depends on the melee, he says.
I'm like, it sounds like such a great explanation, but it's like, who else would be doing something like that?
This is why Marshall and Melissa, and there's a sports event too. Like, this is why we don't do this normally.
Yeah, no.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, so would you rather go running or go to the melee?
Melee! I'll beat the crap out of some people.
Or at least I can sit there and drink hot chocolate.
I was going to say, yeah, you get cookies and cocoa afterwards, so.
Right. You just have to raise the visor on your helmet up.
I have a fencing helmet I could wear. Ooh.
Can you jam a straw in it?
No.
Okay.
I'd have to, I mean, that's after the fighting. Do you know what? I found a SWAT helmet in Central Park. Isn't that weird? Just like laying there.
No.
I kind of wanted to keep it, but I didn't know how to get it home in my suitcase.
Understandable.
Okay. Not sport related. Seussical the Musical is at Phoenix Theater in Phoenix. It's suitable for all ages, probably a good choice for the holidays, honestly. Lots of family time. And it's really cute. It's running through January, and tickets do start at $61 on up to the premium seats that are close to like $100. But Phoenix Theater always does a great job with their shows. I'm always so blown away with their work.
And there's so many holiday shows going on.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to plug one that I'm on the board of, which is the All Queer Shakespeare. They are doing A Christmas Carol, a queer fantasia.
I'm going on the 20th.
So, see, there you go.
My friend Val is in it.
Oh.
Yeah. Val,
Oh, see,
there he is.
there you go.
There's my Val.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was.
And that may or may not be me. We don't know.
No, it's Monica.
No, it's Monica. That's not you.
I was like, no, because, well, I went, so they put a call out that they needed glasses.
Yeah.
I thought they were talking eyewear.
What were they
They
talking about?
needed drinking
glasses.
that were like era appropriate.
Oh.
So I show up with a bucket of eyewear.
That's funny.
And they didn't, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, well, yeah, we should wear these as accoutrements. So that's what wound up happening.
That's so funny.
They weren't going to wear eyewear, and now they are wearing
well,
eyewear.
it's okay. So you're on the board because we were trying to get people to go to support Val, and so I started sending around the ticket link with his little discount code. And you're like on the ticket site, like when you go to buy tickets.
No, I am, because it's like you see my. And so they've been getting all these phone calls going, "Is Marshall in the show?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, but I'm.
That's what everybody was asking me. They were like, "Is Marshall in this?" And I was like, "I don't think so. If he is, I don't know about it." But yeah.
Yeah. No, I was like, I love the idea of what they're doing. So I was like, yeah, I'm happy to support. So I know I'm going to be volunteering kind of between now and I think the 21st when it ends.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so I'm gonna play Usher. And so I got to see a little bit of the dress rehearsal last night.
Usher.
It's like
Not that Usher, like a theater Usher.
Yeah, not like wiki.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
I was gonna say you need some fake six-pack abs if you're gonna play Usher. Yeah.
Yeah, for that TikTok crowd, you need to show off my six-pack.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. There's hopefully going to be a good group of us out on the 20th.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've got friends that are going. It's like I think it's going to be a really fun run. It's the first show they've ever done, so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Just kind of coming together.
Okay.
Yeah, as a theater group. So.
So I didn't know Val did theater. I actually taught him an acting class back in the day and did film and stuff with Val. But yeah, I didn't know he did theater. So.
Yeah, I got to see me racked up in chains last night as. So.
Oh boy. Okay. And on that note.
Well, it's Christmas Carol,
No,
so
I
of
know.
course. Yes, exactly. This is a family show. We don't talk about things like that.
Especially not with Brian anymore.
True. And also, another thing we're celebrating is just a few days ago, the anniversary of the 1919 moment when the U.S. Marshals confiscated 800 gallons of wine.
Wow, that's a lot of wine.
And this was in Globe. And so do you know how they got rid of it?
Drink it.
So when they would confiscate, they would just try to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So here in Phoenix, they actually sprayed it on the street just to get rid of all this booze.
Okay.
But here they poured it in the Pinell Creek. So I can imagine those fish were quite happy. or at least floating on the surface.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know.
Because I'm like, I don't know if fish survive in wine or not, but... And it doesn't say whether it was red or white, because hopefully it was white to go with the fish.
And the rivers ran red, yeah.
or white, and everybody had a lovely dinner of...
I wonder if, like, animals came up and drank from the creek and got... Like, do they get drunk? It mixes with a lot of water, though.
If your dog drinks beer, they get drunk.
Yeah, I know.
And I've seen on TikTok...
I mean, I don't know from experience.
Well,
I haven't given
and I've seen,
my
like,
dog
when, like,
beer.
like parrots will sit there and drink somebody's drink. So, yeah. So
Is that what you watch on TikTok? Parrots drinking?
Well, you know, just random crap comes up, and it's like, okay, well, I guess it's like, oh, never thought of getting my parrot drunk. Not that I have a parrot, but...
We should get a parrot.
It would outlast us both.
A studio mascot.
So then you've got to... I've got a friend, he's already like this
You put it in the wheel, in the wheel.
Well,
I said
yeah.
wheel.
You
Well,
put it in the wheel and spin it around.
I have not. What happened to our Wonder Wheel? Is it gone?
No. Oh, no. Oh, I'm
okay.
not. No, not at all. I still have that wheel at
You
home.
made the face like, oh God, I'm gonna brace you for this horrible news.
Oh, no.
okay.
I'm like, do we want it back? And I'm like, oh.
Why would we not want the Wonder?
I-
I mean,
I-
I brought. Oh wait, they're on the floor. I was like, I brought. Our
I know.
games
I know. I
back.
saw they were on. It's like our what to do.
That was when our tree was wobbling, and I could save the tree or save the games from falling. So.
Or river from falling over.
I
So
didn't-
river the
I
tree,
didn't
and you
try to
chose
save
the
River.
tree.
River was on his own.
And you're like, tree's good.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, you know, it's like, here we are coming back with this show. So excited.
Yes.
And, you know, we're going to be back tomorrow with yet another show, some guests, more fun.
And the next day, and the
next
next day,
day.
and the next. Yeah, I know. It's gonna be amazing. Aren't you glad we're back?
I am thrilled. I so much love doing this.
I do too.
And sharing so many stories and getting people involved in new things.
Yeah. So if you felt inspired today by anything you heard from Mark, we hope that you were. Please get involved or donate to Azura and keep us in mind for your morning routine, or watch us anytime, really. It doesn't have to be morning.
Right,
just 'cause we're a
exactly. I
morning
mean, it's
show.
called The Morning Show, but you could watch it at night.
We're good anytime, really. I know I keep saying things that sound dirty and I really don't mean them to.
Well, it's like, you know, whether you're drinking coffee, a cocktail, it's all good.
It's all good, yeah. So tune in. We'll be right back here at the Arizona Center. We can't wait to introduce you to more guests, more local businesses, more things to do. We're just going to keep it coming because we love what we do.
Right, bringing you more history, more Arizona love, and just lots of fun. All right, everybody, we will see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow.